Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. Today we're looking at the boys. In this reading, Prince George, and in the next reading, Archie, or whoever that boy was on the beach. But for now, Prince George, and I'm looking at a story that was in the Daily Mail a few days ago. The psychic, George Valentino. I have no idea who George Valentino is, but the Daily Mail is rather amusing itself with dredging up these psychics to talk about the royals. And this one, George Valentino, had some things to say. First of all, he said that Harry's attempts at reconciliation with the royals will fail. He will always be an outcast. Doesn't need to be a psychic to tell us that. And he also said, interestingly, that William and Harry won't heal their relationship until their old age, which is rather chilling for Prince Harry. But the interesting thing that he did have to say, and that I'm going to read on now with the Apprentice Tarot, is that in what he describes as a beautiful twist, I could just say a rather twisted twist, Harry will try to maintain a relationship with Prince George, and he will be a well-wisher and send George cards and messages, but those well wishes will not be reciprocated, according to the psychic. I find this rather chilling, that Harry, realizing that he's failed with Pa and with his brother, will set his sights on Prince George, who's of course a king in waiting, which is why I have the Apprentice Tarot on the tarot table, because we have the next generation being prepared, being trained to be king. And we know that Harry felt very threatened by Prince George when George was born, and was happy to tell the whole world that he felt that he only had a few years to shine before he was cast into outer darkness by Prince George. Says a lot about his ego and says a lot about his notion of service, because of course other royals have carried on grinding away as working royals, showing up, cutting ribbons, standing in the rain, doing all that stuff. Never mind how far down the line of succession they get pushed. But no, Harry saw it all as a threat to his status. So we're going to have a look. We're going to do a 9-card reading, a past, present, future, Harry versus Prince George, kind of a scenario. And we're going to ask how Harry felt. What was the scenario when George was born? George was young. Where are we now with the whole situation? How's Harry feeling about Prince George now? Because of course Prince George is all in the news. He's just hitting that moment where he's going to be teen, possibly heartthrob. I don't know if it's going to play out like that for George, but he's certainly going to be grabbing all the headlines, whether he likes it or not. And I'd say or not. That's my sense of the boy. I think he's a very sensitive, shy young man. And then we're going to see future. Is this psychic, famous international psychic, tells us the Daily Mail, George Valentino? Is George Valentino right? What's Harry going to be trying when George is older and running interference again with the royals? Sounds like we have to remind you, one more shuffle, that this is just tarot and it is for fun and entertainment, and this is all rumor and speculation and all my opinion. I'm reading on what a psychic has to say, so get the picture. It is just an energy reading, and of course there is a disclaimer in the box below. So let's see what's going on with this George and Prince Harry situation. Prince Harry on the left, this is the past, and then we get to the present. And this is the situation we're dealing with. And then we're going into the future and what the future has to tell us. So it's kind of a relationship spread, but with a bit more of the meat in the sandwich. And our underlying energy is the card of regret, the 5 of Cups, and it's in reverse. And it's recovery when it's in reverse, generally grieving a loss, hard to see the positives, regretting the past, self-pity, prolonged gloom. That's Harry's energy, of course, not Prince George's. Mercifully for George, he's got enough troubles, been through a tough time in the past few years, I would say, and of course got to adjust to a new school and being in the limelight and all of that, difficult entering his teens. But that's Harry's energy, and this is the remorse, the regret card, crying over spilled milk card. It's often called the Five of Cups. It's in reverse, trying to fix things, trying to recover from all the past missteps that have caused so much sorrow, mostly for himself. His own sense of self-pity is coming through very strongly in this card. And so I think the psychic might be onto something with this Five of Cups in reverse, in terms of Harry trying to mend a situation and focusing on a generation that he thinks he might still be able to influence, but according to the psychic, not so much. Let's see what's going on. The heart of this reading, before we get any further. Okay, Seven of Cups, and it's in reverse. It's the delusion card in practical fantasy, it says. And the delusion card for me, when it's in reverse, the options, multiple things, fantasies, daydreams, when it's upright, when it's in reverse, more for me than being impractical fantasies, is beginning to catch a glimpse of reality. I read it in a more simplistic way. I do try to do that in these royal readings, just to keep things more certain as a tarot reader, for myself and for you. And so it gives me the idea that he might still think he's got possibilities right now with Prince George, Harry. He might still think that he can try his luck, and that he might be able to force open a door while all these other doors have slammed shut. It is a bit of a daft idea, the Seven of Cups, but because it's in reverse for me, I think he's beginning to get the picture that it's not going to be so easy, that he might have run out of road with this whole thing. He might not be able to be as influential in George's life as he might like it to be. That's how I'm reading this situation. It's an interesting card to be at the heart of this reading. So let's go into the past, when George first appeared on the scene. We've got Harry energy over there, the King of Cups. We've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and there's the Fool energy for George, which is new. And it was a very exciting moment. I was a royal watcher back there, fresh start. We had the first royal baby of this vintage. That was really big news, of this generation. That was really big news. Prince William took his time getting married. They had a couple of years before Prince George arrived on the scene. I think people were starting to get a bit anxious about the monarchy and the line of succession and all of that, and the pregnancy news was received with great joy. And then of course it transpired that Catherine had problems during her pregnancy, and so there was concern about that. When the baby boy was born, there was a lot of relief, I think, a lot of just in pleasure, joy, relief, which is the Fool. It's here we go. This is the next generation. This is something we can all look forward to. We can celebrate, and very positive news. There's the Queen of Pentacles. That's Catherine, and her energy. And of course, as I say, a new mother. I think it was a difficult pregnancy. I know it was a difficult pregnancy. I think it was difficult for her adjusting to being a mother in the very public eye and public gaze. So her energy has shown up, interestingly. What waves of trouble with Harry possibly already in there. He's got the King of Cups in reverse. This is the most important card in that row, for sure. Look at it, emotional bully. These are the key words that the card has helpfully provided. The Apprentice Tarot: manipulative, insensitive, poor coping skills, cynical, blames others. I'm not usually so harsh when I describe the King of Cups energy. It's all over the place emotionally. He was really put out by this, I would say, with the energy of that card and those keywords. He was jealous, he was upset, he was immature, petulant, couldn't believe that he wasn't the fun young royal now. He's been cast aside because of this Fool energy, this fresh energy that's coming in. And so, yeah, there was definitely trouble. And there was trouble. And I have a strange sense, which I've never really got before, that he almost blamed Catherine for arriving in the royal world, displacing him and his brother's affections, feeling jealous, feeling resentful. The three of them were often seen about and the heads together thing, and Harry was always tagging along like a spare, like an unfortunate third wheel. It was an uncomfortable look, and I'm getting it in the energy of this reading. So let's get to where we are right now, with George just beginning to become very powerful, very known. For him, I've got the High Priestess, which is the reserved card, quiet and mysterious card, very intuitive, and I think he is very intuitive. He's got a lot of water sign in his chart. He is a Cancerian, Scorpio rising, and there's a whole lot of mystery in this boy, and silent, mysterious. I think that he's very aware of what's going on with the Harry and Meghan saga at this point in his life, at this age that he's at. And I would say that he is almost taking counsel about it from somewhere. I think he's got his own intuition about it. And I think he's got a little sister who is very, very on it when it comes to this energy and her caution around Harry and Meghan. We saw that at the funeral of the late Queen, when I think Harry tried to smile at her or something, and she edged away from him in the pews in St. George's Chapel. I think that he is being guided by his own intuition, and also by behind the scenes with that mysterious energy of the High Priestess, by probably Mother, because Mother's shown up, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Don't you trust that one. Don't you let them get near you. That kind of energy. I think it's almost too difficult a conversation for Prince William to have about his own brother. So I think it's fallen onto Catherine to guide George through this, and possibly other female advisors, more senior, maybe Sophie. I don't know how close he would be to Princess Anne. Probably not. I don't know. Interesting. It's like being warned off. Be cautious around. But Harry, he's got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Another card of gloom and trying to change fate. Trying to change fate. This is the bad luck card when it's in reverse. He's at this thing. He's almost like he's manifested what he feared. That now his life is in free fall with that Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Everything he touches turns to dust, and his reputation is trash. His marriage, well, less said about that the better at this point. He's outcast, as George Valentino said. He will always be an outcast, and there it is, the Wheel of Fortune. How his luck has turned, his popularity has plummeted. George in the ascendancy now, and Harry falling down. I said that when I read on Prince Harry and Prince Andrew and their alleged fallout, the fisticuffs, that it's a juggling thing in the royal family. If one's up, the other might feel that they're down, in the Harry and Prince Andrew scenario anyway. And certainly how Harry seems to experience this very weird environment. You have to say the royal family is a very weird environment to be in, a very toxic environment, a very difficult environment to handle yourself in, unless you're very self-aware and quite humble as well. So yeah, he's really feeling very, very negative about this and wondering how he can turn this around. This is his current energy. So where are we going? Future. George Valentino. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, but oh no. Well, interesting when cards completely validate a story like this. Absolutely 1000% validate this psychic's a little bit of news, a little bit of insight or gossip or whatever you want to call it. Speculation. Harry's got the Page of Cups in future. What did they say? Or this psychic, he will try to maintain a relationship with George. He will be a well-wisher and send him cards and messages. Page of Cups, messaging. Messaging, it's kind of love bombing, that Page of Cups. It's almost an apology, but it won't be an apology. It will be quite immature, it will be quite childish, it will be trying to connect with George in that nudge nudge wink wink kind of a way that I think is Harry's language. That's, you know, the Uncle Andrew's language as well, the fart cushions and things like that. That's the Page of Cups. That's how it's reading for me. Immature, but trying to message, trying to love bomb, trying to connect with a young person. I think this is going to happen soon. I was going to say when Meghan is out of the way, but soon. Let's put it like that rather. And of course, this is all my opinion and allegedly and all of that stuff. There is Harry, Queen of Pentacles. He's the issue between the two. This is his ego. This is his ambition. This is him absolutely. He wants to be top dog here. He wants to be king. He wants to be boss. And if he can't, sorry, that's Tess having a dream, barking in her sleep. If he can't dominate Prince William, then he's going to try and dominate Prince George. He's going to, on the surface, be cutesy and sweet and helpful. Uncle Harry, you can count on me. When you're in trouble, come to me. Don't go to your mom and dad. I've been through it all. I can advise you. I won't, call you out. I won't shout at you. It's that kind of vibe. It's that undermining vibe of the kind of uncle you don't want hanging around your kids because they're the black sheep of the family. Outcast was the word. They're negative influences, toxic influences. This is not someone you want. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. He's not someone you want hanging around your kids. And there was a long-standing rumour that the real reason Harry and Meghan got shunted off to Frogmore Cottage wasn't so much the see-through negligees and the drifting around the corridors at night, and no, not Harry in the see-through negligees, but the drunken visits to Kensington Palace, the raiding the fridge, drunken and possibly intoxicated on other substances as well, around very, very, very young children long before Meghan arrived on the scene. That was a rumour. It's been a long-standing rumour. So Harry wants to be king. If he can't control Prince William, then he wants to be almost regent energy there over George, and George is not having any of it. We've got the Eight of Cups and it's in reverse. This is going to be a shadow over poor George. The Eight of Cups in reverse is just, this is a situation that's not going to shift, it's not going to change, it's not going to get better, and he's not going to be able to extricate himself from it easily, but he does see it for what it is. He does see it as negative. He does see the damage that Harry has done to his family with that Eight of Cups in reverse. Someone who left and is now trying to come back is in this card as well. That's Harry leaving and then trying to weasel his way back in so he can be a person of significance again in the royal family through Prince George not having any of it, not reciprocated, as the psychic said. I think he's on to something. That is, of course, my opinion. Interesting energy in this reading. Hope you agree. We're moving on to Archie on the beach next.